Join me today as I try iconic Australian snacks. I've got tons of recommendations for some of these items. I'm really excited to try a lot of these snacks. I'm going to be trying everything from Bundaberg ginger beer, to shapes, to Tim Tams. I'm going to do a Tim Tam slam. I got hundreds and thousands, so I'm going to do a fairy bread. I'm trying a lot of iconic things that you guys aren't going to want to miss. And the first thing is going to be the Twisties. I've never tried these. I want to know how iconic these are. They are cheese flavored. I don't know if they're normally cheese flavored, but the smell, it's definitely not appetizing. They kind of look like a Cheeto. They're a little bit softer than a Cheeto though, and not as near as strong of an artificial cheese flavor when you actually bite into it. Honestly, these aren't too special. This is a little bit like a Cheeto, but that's the closest thing I have to compare to it. I think the cheese flavored Twisties probably just have to get a 3 out of 10. I don't think I'd ever buy these again. Now while we're on the topic of chips, I'm going to try burger rings. They kind of look like onion rings on the package. I've never had one of these before either. Oh, these smell good. It kind of smells a little bit like barbecue sauce. They look like just small onion rings. I don't know if you guys have Funyuns here, but this also looks very similar to Funyun chips that they have in the US. Wait, that's so weird. The aftertaste is definitely a burger aftertaste. When I was chewing it, I didn't taste anything until I swallowed it all. Once again, like the Twisties, these aren't too hard and they're not too soft. They're actually about the same texture as them. Although I gotta say, the flavor on the burger rings is better than the cheese Twisties. I think I'm going to have to give the burger rings a 5.5 out of 10. A little bit better than average chips, I'll say that. While we're doing the chips, I bought an assorted box of shapes. So I've got 3 different flavors to try for you. Looks like one of them is barbecue flavor, one of them is the pizza flavor, and one of them is mini chicken crimpy. I'm not sure what chicken crimpy is. Oh, I think that's maybe the type of biscuit that they're on as a crimpy. I'm going to mix them with my eyes closed and choose one. Okay, looks like the mini chicken crimpy first. They do smell a little bit like chicken, and they kind of look like a Ritz cracker. I think here you guys call them Jats, or well, it's a different brand, but called Jats. But the crunch, the texture, and the flavor is way different than a Ritz. They're definitely a little dense when you bite into them, so they have a really nice good crunch. The chicken flavor is there, but it's a little subtle to me. Actually, not too subtle. I like these. So far, this is the best thing. I think I'm going to have to give the shapes, the mini chicken crimpy, a 6 out of 10. Now I'm going to try the shapes pizza. Oh my gosh, these smell really good. They smell like the, what is it? The pizza goldfish that they have in the US. There's like a little cracker called goldfish in the US. And these smell exactly the same. And they taste exactly the same too. This is also kind of like a little dense, just like the other shapes that I tried. So I'm assuming this last pack is gonna be the same. Way crunchier than they would be in the US, which isn't a bad thing. The pizza flavored shapes, I'm going to have to give them a 6.5 out of 10. Everything is slowly climbing the ranks. So now, the last shapes, the barbecue shapes. They smell like a really sweet barbecue sauce. Although the flavor is not as good as the last ones. It seems like the barbecue sauce flavor that these have is more of a sweet versus a smoky flavor. I think I'm going to have to give them a 4 out of 10. Now that I've eaten all those chips, gotta drink the Bundaberg ginger beer. I'll put some of the comments on the screen right now, the people who recommended me the ginger beer. It says invert bottle before opening. Invert the bottle. I don't know how long I'm supposed to wait. I got a huge bottle, so I really hope I like it. I do like the ginger flavor. I didn't used to be a big fan of ginger, but as I've gotten older, of course, like everybody does, their taste buds do change, and I've learned to like ginger. It's interesting. It's not super sweet, but it is still sweet. I see why this is so popular. Actually, when I was in China, I even saw the Bundaberg ginger beer for sale in Chinese supermarkets. Can you believe that? I could definitely see how this would go really good with either an Australian burger, Australian pies, or Australian fish and chips. I'm going to have to give the Bundaberg ginger beer a 7 out of 10. This is nice. Not the best soda, but it's better than a lot of them. All right, quick pause for some exciting news. I'm going to be taking a 1-month-long trip to China, but then I will be going back to Australia after that. I will be uploading content as usual. You guys gotta let me know down in the comments what type of food you want to see me try while I'm in China. And when I head back to Australia, I'm gonna be hitting up Melbourne, so you guys gotta flood the comments with recommendations for things that you want to see me try while I'm in Melbourne. Now, back to the video. Now, I've got 3 different chocolates to try. If I'm being honest, I have tried the Freddo before while I was in New Zealand, but not on camera. I've never tried the koala, and I've also never tried the dairy milk bar. And this one's velvet. I think this is a new flavor, if I'm right. I hope it is really velvety, because velvety chocolate is good. So I'm going to try this first, and they make this difficult to open. All right, there I go. It smells amazing. The smell of chocolate is one of the best smells out there. Let me break off a square of it. Got 1 square there, and let me eat it really quick before it melts in my fingers. Maybe some people are gonna say I'm crazy for this or hate me for saying this, but it doesn't taste too different from a Hershey's bar. Gotta try another piece, but I'm just gonna let it melt in my mouth. I couldn't wait for it to melt any longer. After the 3rd piece of this, I can definitely say that it is velvety. It's a little bit higher quality than Hershey's would be. Now I'm going to try the Caramello Koala. I'm assuming it's going to look like a koala and it's going to be filled with caramel or caramel. Oh yeah, it looks like a happy little koala. It's really sweet. I bit the poor little guy's head off. There's not too much caramel in him, especially in those first bites, but it's kind of a good thing because it's not overly sweet then. It's just really sweet. I'm gonna rate all 3 of these at the same time once I try the Freddo. So the Freddo is a frog. I have tried this one, and I like this one. There's this cute little frog head. I think the Freddo is a little bit better than the velvety one, which is surprising to me. I need a drink of the ginger beer. My mouth is coated in sugar now. Not like a drink with sugar in it is gonna help too much, but it's gonna wash down the chocolate. I think I'm going to have to give the Dairy Milk Velvet a 5.5 out of 10. The Caramello Koala is extremely sweet. Still haven't decided if it's a good thing or a bad thing that there's not too much caramel in it. I'm going to have to give this one a 6 out of 10. It wasn't too much better, but it was better. I think I gotta give the Freddo a 7.5 out of 10. Not bad, not bad. I gotta run to the kitchen really quick and make some toast because I want to try that Vegemite for you. I got my toast here. I have the Vegemite, and then I have some butter too that I'm gonna put on the toast. Really interested to see how this tastes. I think after this, I'm gonna have the Chico roll, and then I'm going to have the fairy bread, and then finish it off with the Tim Tam Slam. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Vegemite, about this much. Hopefully that's enough. And then I'm going to spread it on the toast. I'm actually gonna try it without the butter first. It's not the most appetizing smell, but I also eat fermented bean curd on toast, like from an Asian supermarket, so I know the smell doesn't always equal to the taste. Salty and savory. Not as bad as people say it is. I definitely like this. Without the butter, it's actually good, so I bet it's gonna be great with the butter because, I mean, butter is fat and fat equals flavor. So now I gotta put it on here with the butter. Toast cools down too fast, so I heat it up and the butter melted a little bit on here. I'm gonna spread that around. Now time to add the Vegemite to the buttery toast. You guys let me know if you melt the butter for Vegemite and butter on toast or if you just leave it cold. Got it all spread on there, time to try it. That's not bad. I like it with the butter. Of course, I liked it without it. If you eat it the right way, this is actually really good. It just tastes salty. I think I'm going to have to give Vegemite on toast without the butter a 7 out of 10, and with the butter, 7.5 out of 10. Now I have the Chico roll, just pulled it out of the air fryer. It is extremely hot and it's so heavy. I did not think this thing was gonna be this big when I bought it. Now, I'm sure deep fried is the best way to have this, but the air fryer does a pretty good job at mimicking deep fried. You can kind of see it looks like there's some carrots in there, maybe a little bit of coriander, some onion maybe. I'm not 100% sure what even is a Chico roll. Really crispy, thick outer layer. And really soft, warm filling. Now, I don't have any sauce to put this with, but I could imagine this would go good with maybe barbecue sauce, but some chili sauce would be really good on here. Or even maybe a spicy mayo. I think I've got to give the Chico roll a 8.5 out of 10. This is really good, especially for some frozen pre-made food. I'm quite surprised. I almost forgot. I'm gonna put some of the comments on the screen. Tons of people recommended this. I got a slice of bread. I cut the crust off. It's got cold butter spread on it, and I'm going to cover it in hundreds and thousands. Oh my gosh, so many. This is gonna be so sweet. Let me spread them around. They're definitely gonna fall off because I put so many hundreds and thousands on here. I can only imagine when kids eat this, how messy it is. This is actually pretty good. I could totally see why kids would like this. I want to know why this was invented. I know I eat a lot of junk food on my channel, but something just feels wrong about this. I think I've got to give the fairy bread a 7 out of 10. Not all because of taste, because it's not too special taste. It's just sweet, buttery bread. But I know it's extremely iconic, and it's also kind of funny to me because, like, not growing up in Australia or New Zealand, if I saw somebody do this, I'd think they're insane. As if I haven't already had enough sugar tonight, I've got one last thing to try for you guys. Tim Tams, and I'm gonna do a Tim Tam Slam. I've never tried a Tim Tam Slam before. I've got high hopes because I really like coffee. But this is the only food in this video, the coffee, that wasn't made in Australia. It says made in Spain on the back of the package. I'm gonna pull open these Tim Tams, and I have tried them before. They're good, but I've never tried the Tim Tam Slam. And this, out of everything, besides the fairy bread, I'm most excited to try. I'll just do one of the Tim Tams by itself first. Nice and crunchy biscuits or cookies for my US viewers. And the chocolate is like melting to my fingertips already. I think these are definitely better than like Oreos or other pre-packaged biscuits. So Tim Tam Slam, I bite off the top and the bottom if I'm right, and then I drink the coffee through it. Oh, it just instantly melted the chocolate. Oh my gosh. It's making such a mess. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I understand it now. It's not to drink the coffee through the Tim Tam. It's to get the Tim Tam filled with the coffee, right? Out of everything, I think this is the best thing I've tried so far, even though some of the other stuff was pretty good. I really like coffee. Tim Tams are great. Together, oh my gosh, it was amazing. It made it like really soft so the chocolate melted instantly, but the biscuits also just soaked up all the coffee immediately. I gotta do it again. Man, that's so good. I think Tim Tams by themselves are a 7.5 out of 10, but I think doing the Tim Tam Slam brings the Tim Tam to a 9 out of 10. This is so good, but I am so full now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making it. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, have a good one.